I've got your energy stories for the second week of March 2023. And in the first one, Eavor Technologies, an advanced geothermal company, has received a €91.6 million grant from the European Innovation Fund to support its 8.2 megawatt geothermal project in Bavaria, Germany. Drilling should start in July of this year, with commissioning set for Q4 of 2024. If both technologically and economically successful, deep geothermal could represent a promising future technology for reliable and dispatchable power. Meanwhile, advanced geothermal company Fervo is testing a novel energy storage system in Nevada, pumping water into wells thousands of feet deep, using fracking technology to create fractures in deep hot rock and tapping the Earth's heat to build pressures that can create dispatchable power flows. Initial tests indicate the potential to create a flexible system that can ramp quickly and store energy for hours and perhaps even days. Fervo already has contracts with companies like Google for firm power, but is exploring the possibility of this more flexible operating system. Staying with interesting new technology, scientists from the University of Rochester have recently created a superconductor that can function at room temperatures and at much lower pressure than other superconducting materials. Such a revolutionary material could help dramatically cut transmission and distribution losses, improve battery performance, and create better containers for managing fusion. We'll see both if and how long it takes for this technology to find its way into commercial applications. In other news relating to the commercialization of developing tech, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission is proposing a new draft review and licensing framework for advanced nuclear reactors. The regulations, based on risk and performance, are meant to be flexible and applicable to a variety of new technologies. The approach doesn't please everybody, with critics complaining the framework is both complex and twice as long as previous licensing frameworks. While looking at new resource development, in a new RFP, Hawaiian Electric Company is looking for 500 to 700 megawatts of more firm renewable resources such as biofuels, geothermal, and trash-to-energy by 2033. A HECO VP commented on the need for firm supplies, saying, quote, "If you end up with 40 days of rain like we had in 2006, you're going to need that firm generation on the system to make sure the lights stay on," unquote. Those additions would represent between 19 and 27% of the company's current generating capacity, and HECO is running at about 40% renewables today, with about half of that coming from the customer side of the meter. Meanwhile, on the East Coast, New Jersey has opened up a third offshore wind solicitation aiming for between 1.2 and 4 gigawatts of offshore wind, on top of the previously awarded 3.75 gigawatts. Bids will be accepted through the 23rd of June, with decisions by the end of the year, and the state has an offshore target of 11 gigawatts by 2040. Well, if we keep building out the supply side with wind and solar resources to meet clean energy goals, we're going to need huge levels of new transmission at a global level. A Bloomberg New Energy Finance analysis suggests that a 94 million mile supersized grid may be needed, more than double the length of today's grid and long enough to reach from here to the sun. I would caution that technology changes so quickly these days that we shouldn't assume that wind and solar will do all the heavy lifting. Modular nukes, advanced geothermal, and other as yet unproven technologies may have a pretty big role to play over the next 30 years. Nonetheless, the BNEF view is worth thinking about. In Washington state, the first carbon auction settled at $48.50 per ton, far higher than the recent joint California and Quebec auction price of $27.85. A total of over $300 million was raised, and proceeds will be invested in projects focused on carbon reduction and climate resiliency. And finally, Equinor and Air Liquide are formally abandoning their Aurora project, once hailed as a landmark liquified hydrogen shipping fuel project. They cited high prices and a lack of interested customers. Many shipping companies are opting for green hydrogen-based ammonia or methanol, which don't require liquefaction and are more energy dense. Danish shipping giant Maersk, for example, has ordered 19 vessels with dual fuel engines that can burn green methanol. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.